What's up, guys? You should be watching our Twitch every Monday and Wednesday at twitch.com/Daydreamer Media. And you should be telling your friends, unless you're in a big money league. Then fuck them.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You got 5 seconds.
Go ahead and follow us here on Twitch. Like, subscribe, whatever it's called. Click the notification bell and never miss whenever we go live. Mondays and Wednesdays. Shouts out. Hey everyone, if you guys want to see our beautiful faces, go ahead and head over to twitch.com/Daydreamer Media. Every Monday and Wednesday night, we are live answering you guys' questions, fantasy football and life questions. So go ahead and head over there, follow us, hit that notification bell so that way you guys never miss whenever we go live. Welcome
JJ,
into the fantasy
Before you even get there, I'm
Daydreamers.
sorry, 1 second. What was the dance move you were doing there? Was that
It's
the violin?
Yeah, it's the violin.
That's the violin in the back?
I don't know what it is. I'm
Ian,
not-
play the music again real quick. That's the violin?
I am musically impaired, bro. I don't know none of it.
If
If it was up to me, bro.
Play the violin down here too. You were holding by your neck or nothing, bro.
If it was up to me, bro, it would be all flute. It would be 100% flute the entire time.
Oh.
It's not. I am JJ.
Order.
This is the Fantasy Daydreamers podcast. That is Ryan with me.
What's up, guys? The Twitter's ROKKO. Daydreamer. And if you want me to play hot cross buttons on the recorder, come check out our live.
Now you got to.
Cross buttons.
Keone
That was
is
my
here
shit
with
back in
us.
the day, boy.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody of all denominations. Oh, my goodness, it is so great to be here. And, you know, it's the holliest, jolliest of seasons. And if you want to be warmed up by my tweets about the fantasy footballs and all the goings-ons during the weekends and of men hitting each other and causing brain damage and physical injuries, but hear my humorous takes on that, you have to go. Well, you must go to the Twitters at Daydreamer Keone.
You guys can follow me at JJ Daydreamers. You guys can also follow the show at FF Daydreamers on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Growing that audience. Tell your friends. We like whenever people tell their friends. Let's get into some news.
I thought you were going to say something different. Just like, we like money.
Yeah, we like no, we like an audience.
That's
We
true.
like followers.
Yes.
We like friends. It's a
Yeah.
family. That's what you guys are.
Become fellow daydreamers.
And we're like that cool uncle who asked to borrow $5 from you. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The one I figured. All right. Titans wide receiver Treylon Burks left early with a head injury. Nasty hit that the Eagles delivered there to Treylon Burks. Caught the touchdown. Somehow he held on to that ball.
His muscles just, I don't know, spasmed or something. But yeah, I hope he's okay.
I thought it was muscle memory. Like
I
I hold on
maybe.
to the ball.
Yeah.
Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson left early with a knee injury. He is considered day to day, week to week by head coach John Harbaugh. I don't think we're expecting him to play this week.
Mm-mm.
So it'll be Tyler Huntley.
Oh, he might come up later.
Okay.
Oh.
Packers running
how do you
back.
think that? Sorry,
Yeah,
I have a
go ahead.
question. Is Mark Andrews still a top 5 tight end, or just move him down a little bit?
No, I'm still playing
know
him as
he'll-
top 5. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hun-
I agree.
Huntley's still targeted in a bunch. So
Him a ton. I know.
Yeah.
Just reinsurance. That's all it is. We're getting the top 5 tight end locked in.
yeah. Don't worry about Mark Andrews, and I think that's all you play there in Baltimore. Packers running back Aaron Jones left for a little with a shin injury, but was able to return. They are going into their bye, so hopefully he'll be able to return after the bye. AJ Dillon came in and looked pretty good. Finally ran the ball pretty well in Aaron Jones' absence.
Getting a little hot. He's getting a little hot. Played well versus the Eagles too.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence suffered a leg injury. He was able to return after halftime though, so getting an MRI on that knee. We'll have to keep an eye on what happens with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, it looked like they twisted him up like a pretzel. It was nasty.
Yeah, it looked. If you look at it, it looked like he was done for the day, probably the season. And then all of a sudden, halftime, and he's back out there.
Got them young legs.
Yeah, I guess so.
Got Aaron Rodgers doctor over there.
If that's anyone older than 35, 30,
Now,
he
how
ain't
old
coming
are
back.
you,
I'll tell you that
bro?
right now.
How old are you? Anyone older than that? Broncos wide receiver Cortland Sutton left early with a hamstring injury, was not able to return.
Goose egg.
Broncos offense.
Goose egg.
Yeah. 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo was carted to the locker room, broke his left ankle. It's gonna be
That was his
then.
foot.
Oh,
His
you're
ankle?
right. It is his foot. It was initially thought to be an ankle, but it was his foot. That's gonna be it for his season. He's done. So
Mr. Irrelevant.
Brock
I would
Purdy
say
will be
this for
taking
the
over at
offense.
quarterback.
Sorry, I would say this for offense. This makes me more scared for the week to week game plan. I have to assume we're going to see more games where Ayuk and Kittle, or 1 week it won't be Debo. Well, that won't be featured. You're talking about too many mouths to feed. Well, now you got a shaky guy who's trying to feed them. So I'm out 100%.
I actually don't hate it for Christian McCaffrey or Debo, just because those are the real athletes where he doesn't have to really throw them the ball to get them the ball.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Meanwhile, Kittle is a great blocker, so whenever you have a third string quarterback, maybe your tight end blocks a little more. So I really don't like it for Kittle at all. And then Ayuk is more of a down the field guy, so as he was finally coming into real relevance here for fantasy, I'm staying away from him now. But I don't hate it for Debo or CMC.
I think it just limits Debo's ceiling.
Oh, it limits all of them for sure, but
I
just don't hate
do
it.
agree. Chris McCaffrey's played with, Baker Mayfield. So I don't know, man.
Let's just talk about that. The Panthers are expected to release quarterback Baker Mayfield.
Do they reunite the pair of Chris McCaffrey and Baker Mayfield?
That's the question. Does Shanahan take the plunge and go with Baker?
So he's on waivers until next Tuesday, and I believe the 49ers are pretty low on that waiver list. So basically, does that mean teams, whoever's highest priority gets a pick at him, and then after Tuesday it's like free agency?
Yeah, he hits
Okay.
free agency after that.
Okay.
But you have to take his contract, whatever it is at that
If
point.
you pick
It's like
him up
1.3 million, I think.
yeah. If you pick him up in waivers, you have to take his contract, and you're not signing him as a free agent. The 49ers also signed Josh Johnson. So probably just be a backup.
Okay.
Bengals tight end Hayden Hurst left early with a right calf injury. Just a streaming option gone there.
Yeah. Sucks.
Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker left early after suffering a foot sprain. I mean, had a couple
I have to
of
assume
touches.
they're going to be cautious.
Yeah.
That's what he gets for yelling at
Isn't it-
Geno Smith.
What did he hurt earlier this year?
That's a great
Remember
question.
where he started? Where Penny started? I cannot
Mhm.
remember. What was his injury in the beginning of the season? Like in training camp?
I think it was a leg
Oh,
though.
I should look this up. Right?
Yeah. I feel like you're right.
All right, Ian, come on. I know you work on it, buddy. I trust you. Best producer in the game.
So yeah, Kenneth Walker left early. We'll see. Keep an eye out on reports coming out for him. Dolphins wide receiver Jalen Waddle was banged up with a leg injury. He did return, but was very limited. Tough going against the Chargers. He says he's going to be ready, and this is just part of playing football. You guys trust Jalen Waddle?
Yeah. I think he could have had a big game too. Just kept missing him. He was a
Yeah.
little off in that game.
It
He
was
also
just
got hurt, but
it was frustrating. You know, you'd want to see your guys do well, but they were going up against a great defense in the 49ers. But the Chargers are a better defense to go against. They can still be stingy, but I think they'll find openings against this Chargers defense deep.
All right, and last little bit of news. Odell Beckham visited the Cowboys on Monday. So
at the
The
Mavs
Mavericks game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, the dick sucking for Odell is incredible.
It's
Sweet Jesus, guys.
the Odell clock, the Odell watch is on. Where does he sign?
Michael Gallup came back from a torn ACL and just got good. Week
Let's
13 of
go
the
get-
NFL season.
Yeah.
Odell's supposed to be good the first week he returns, guys. Hey, settle down, man.
I think
my
Kenneth
goodness.
Walker, he was dealing with a groin injury earlier in the season. All right.
Great job,
Thank-
Ian.
Thanks, producer Ian.
Appreciate it. All right, that'll do it for the news. Let's move on to Week 13 awards. All right, so this first award is a random player with a huge performance. This is the Where with Who award.
You've been where? Where who?
So,
Okey-
so I got Cam Akers.
I mean, the real winner of this award is Cam Akers. It's like, that was a great pick by you.
Thank
The
you.
motherfucker has been gone, irrelevant for
So-
so long.
So coming into the season, there was no way that Cam Akers could win this award. He had around 4 ADP coming into the season. As a fantasy football community, we thought that this was Cam Akers' backfield with Darrell Henderson, the backup there. But Sean McVay had different plans. There was a lot of disgruntlement and talks about Cam Akers and this Rams organization, and won't he be traded, and will he or won't he even play on the team anymore? Well, the NFL trade deadline came and went, and Cam Akers remained on the Rams. And even more wild is they surprised us and released Darrell Henderson after the trade deadline. So Cam Akers, week 13. I mean, he hasn't been inside the top 24 running backs all season, averaging just 8.3 touches for 30.8 yards. Well, he finally got a majority of the rushing attempts in week 13, seeing over 50% of the rushing attempts and over 85% of the total running back touches on the week. Had 60 yards on the ground and scored 2 touchdowns, finished as a running back 7 on the week because of that 2 touchdown day. I don't think Akers is anywhere near a must start, probably not even a start with the way this Rams offense is. But in week 13, Cam Akers, he was what we thought he was at the beginning of the season.
I'm gonna go. I gotta try and find something positive to get out of this this Colts game. So I'm gonna
I
go
didn't hear
with
them during the victory lap.
I'm gonna go with Alec Pierce. In this terrible, horrible, no good performance by the Colts this past week on Sunday night in front of the entire country. He was the shining glimmer, that golden piece of corn in the glorious turd that was the Colts, game this week versus the Cowboys. We've seen moments of greatness from him, and promise, but as of late, he has been lying dormant, much like it seems like a lot of the Colts' talent, unfortunately. Since week 6, he hasn't had a fantasy performance above 10 points and has finished outside the top 40 in each of those weeks. However, this week was different. He was a top 20 wide receiver, getting 4 catches on 8 targets for 86 yards, the most of his career. And he found his way, most importantly, into the end zone. Yay! So if you happen to, I guess, forget about him being on your team, or you just haven't looked at your lineup in the past 6 weeks for half of the season because you were done after week 6 or whatever, then it worked out for you. Alec Pierce had a great game. So yeah, at least something positive came out of silver linings from this. Just it's embarrassing Colts performance.
Yeah. And it wasn't like it was garbage time for Alec Pierce necessarily.
Mm-mm.
He scored his touchdown early on in the game. So
My where with who winner is Chris Evans. Chris Evans, yes, the Chris Evans, not who played Captain America. Chris Evans, the running back, who scores a game-winning touchdown for the Bengals. Guess how many targets he got in that game? One reception. That was his touchdown. He had 4 targets all season, but that one touchdown made him above guys like Alvin Kamara, Jeff Wilson Jr., Derrick Henry. Realistically, he outscored Michael Pittman. That's a whole different position, but I'm calling out there just to roast him on this team. I'm sorry. Man, Jefferson. I'm just looking at people who played this week. But basically, Chris Evans
you throw George Pickens
basically
in that
stole.
mix.
Huh?
Throw George Pickens in that mix.
No, we'll get to him.
Chris Evans stole the touchdown from P. Ryan to make his game absolutely elite and stole my heart for having more points than Derrick Henry, so I can roast Derrick Henry some more.
So Cam Akers, Alec Pierce, and Chris Evans, you guys are this week's Where With Who award winners. So this next award, a player who had the perfect matchup and still did not get the job done. This is the You're Not That Guy, Pal award.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay.
Nick Chubb, one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL versus the worst rushing defense this season, the Houston Texans. Just god awful against the running back. And Nick Chubb, well, like I said, one of the best running backs. And if you look at the box score, it doesn't look too terrible. 17 carries for 80 yards on the ground. But this is only the second week all season he's finished outside the top 24 running backs, finishes the running back 31. And for Deshaun Watson's first game back against his old team, this offense looked terrible. Like they just couldn't get anything going. Their defense is the reason they won this game. Nick Chubb suffered because of it. Like, why would you not just hand this man the ball over and over more than 17 times? Because, well, Deshaun Watson was spiking the ball at the ground, but they didn't. And Nick Chubb, you had a great matchup, but just didn't get anything done.
The Chubb train went off the tracks in this game.
Why did you say it with such like a deep voice?
I don't know.
Went off the tracks.
You
I
got to
thought
do
you were
some.
going to a bit or something.
You got to do a
yeah.
little. You got to do a little ASMR. I don't know.
Oh, Liam Neeson from Taken.
There. What have you done with Nick Chubb? So a guy who just awful. Another guy who this is a great matchup. They're a bottom 5 defense versus the position. But this guy almost tried to get a goose egg, but did just the bare minimum to not. Is George Pickens. Not as prolific as Nick Chubb, but still doing pretty good this year. But the Falcons, just like a bottom 5 versus receivers, give up a ton of passing yards and nearly 7 more fantasy points per game to the position than the rest of the league. He finished with 1 catch for 2 yards. You can't do that. You can't have, this guy be a solid flex option and put up either 7 or 0.7 or 1.2. Neither are good. This was supposed
standard. Ooh.
Right? Oh my God.
Too.
It's even worse. This was supposed to be, a layup of all layups, and he just threw it into the stands, hitting
Looked like
some
that shot right there.
hitting some rich old lady in the 3rd row with her $40 wine glass, make that go flying all over her yappy purse dog. It's just frustrating and not what you want from a normally reliable guy. Not necessarily wide receiver 2, but you'd think he'd be a solid flex option at least. But no, apparently not.
All right. I told y'all last week a bold prediction that was pretty bold. I thought of it in the moment. Under 50 rushing yards and no rushing touchdown. And guess what fucking happened? The man who you are not who you think you are this week for me, Derrick Henry. King of the winner. Well, guess what? It's December, baby. You didn't do shit, boy. 38 total yards. Nothing. Longest rushing gain was 6 yards. Coming against the Eagles defense where people saying, run on him. Yeah, Washington did it. I get it. They held the ball. They only averaged like 4 yards a carry. Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, they performed well. Jonathan Taylor, the first drive, performed well. But I knew it. I knew it in my heart. Derrick Henry wasn't going to be the guy last week. I told you guys in the bold prediction. And he wasn't. It's a victory lap, baby.
This here's the victory lap, and I'm leaving.
So,
I told Ian before. Well, that's great job. Me and him, 1-2 connection, Shaq and Kobe.
So Nick Chubb, George Pickens, and Derrick Henry, you guys are this week's You're Not That Guy Pal Award winners. This last award is the play of the week that got you screaming, damn, at your TV. This is the Daammn Award.
Damn!
And I got Davante Adams for this award. Now, there's a couple different plays I could choose from here. Was it the touchdown where he just ran past the Chargers defender, caught the ball, falling down, just had a step on him? Just a great, great play. Snack cheese, just great touchdown. Or maybe the flea flicker where he just ran by confused defenders. Easy touchdown for him there. I mean, the man was the wide receiver 1 on the week, 3rd time in 6 weeks that he's been the wide receiver 1. But I'm going to go ahead and pick a play that didn't even count. A one-handed snag on the sideline by Davante Adams. Just couldn't keep the feet in bounds. I have no clue how he caught the ball. Just an amazing one-handed grab by one of the best wide receivers in the league. It was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. This man, I mean, not even Stickum could help him because damn, that shit was dirty.
I also love how like the announcers on that flea flicker were just like, "How do people still get beat by the flea flicker?" And it's
Josh
just like,
Jacobs is a really good running back.
that's the Chargers for you. I'm gonna go with a guy who's been just breaking records, in the NFL, setting all-time performances. It's Justin Fields. He had another big touchdown run, and it's just like he's back, and it's like there he is, and he's gone. He makes a difference on this field. Like Justin Fields on the field makes a difference for the Bears. Granted, Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears, but he is such a dynamic player who adds so much dimension to a desolate wasteland of a team that is the Chicago. He ran for a 55-yard touchdown run, which makes him the first quarterback since Johnny Lujack, I guess, in 1950, also from the Bears, to have 6 games in a row with a rushing touchdown. But he is the only quarterback in NFL history to have 3 rushing touchdowns over 50 yards at all. Nobody in their entire career at quarterback has had 3 touchdowns of over 50 yards. He's done it in less than a month. That's stupid impressive. And he's just a little bit good, but it had me going, damn.
My damn award goes to Tua and the Dolphins for that very first play, scoring the 75-yard touchdown to Trent Sherfield. That play was crazy because I literally just got the chicken nuggets out the air fryer, getting ready to eat lunch with Cam. I look at TV. Bam! And I was like, oh, damn, we got a game. And then they didn't score for like literally forever after that. But, they didn't score touchdowns until the fourth quarter. But that first play, I was like, oh, shit. It's getting lit in here. I mean, it didn't get that lit, but it was a good game. It's all right.
Sure. So Devontae Adams, Justin Fields, and that first play from the Miami Dolphins offense. You guys are this week's damn award winners. I almost put Justin Fields for mine too, just because damn, those runs are so impressive. And the fact that Christian Watson has just been going off as well, just scoring touchdowns every single week. Them going against each other was just like, damn, bro.
I think he tied Randy Moss's 4-game record for touchdowns. I think it's 8 in 4 games. So that's good company to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to our waiver wire. So who is someone 45% or less roster you will be adding this week?
Looking at the notes for the first time, we all have the same guy here. Michael Gallup. He looks good again. Looks like the Michael Gallup before. I mean, we saw this kind of slow progression throughout the season, where he was, slow getting targets, and he slowly started making plays. Well, last week, Sunday, he scores 2 touchdowns. I could see this happening. The Odell mix is a little weird because I think they're going to be forced to give him targets if they do end up signing him. But I think the Gallup will still be the number 2 there. Efficient offense, I think that it's CD and then whoever Dak is feeling more, Gallup or Schultz, because Schultz kind of struggled this game. Doesn't matter because Dawson Knox had a goose egg, so Keanu keeps adding to the fucking lead. But the worst bet I've ever made. I love Michael Gallup. Runs a lot of routes, good wide receiver. Always thought he was good, and he's showing it out.
Yeah. 3 out of the past 4 games, he's had 7 or more targets. He has good games, either with yards or gets in the end zone. They face Houston, then Jacksonville, tough Eagles game. Then week 17 versus the Titans. That's a good matchup. So he's really on the border of that borderline of that 45%. So, get him now, and you can put him in
Yeah,
a few
I was
of those
kind of
games.
surprised. I was
Yeah.
kind of surprised. I thought it's a little lower than I thought for sure.
It's unanimous. Michael Gallup, 44.1%. Just barely made that cut. Yeah. Everything. I mean, you guys already nailed it. So.
Number 2, Zonovan Knight. For me, good running back. I thought he played well versus the Vikings. The Vikings defense isn't a great defense. The Jets the Jets are impressive after a slow start, and I think even when Michael Carter comes back, it could be the 1-2 punch of him and Zonovan Knight. And I just like the production there. I don't know when Michael Carter's supposed to come back, but I don't think this is a 1 week play. I think there's a possibility where it could be a little bit more, especially if his offense keeps rolling the way it was rolling. I mean, I think they had like over 400 yards in that game. They just couldn't get in the end zone. So,
Yeah, I got Zonovan Knight as my second player as well. Who knows what happens with Michael Carter when he comes back? He's not done for the season, so I do expect him to come back. But Zonovan Knight keeps running like this, he's gonna work himself into a role. I mean, they play
he looked
at
good, man. He
looked really good. They play at Buffalo this week, so probably staying away there. But then Detroit, Jacksonville, Seattle. If Michael Carter doesn't come back, that's not too bad of a lineup there for Zonovan Knight.
No, that's great. He's probably the clear number 2, but I didn't have Zonovan Knight, but to give people options. But yeah, those fantasy championships or playoffs matchups are great. And he's also had his past 2 games, he's gotten over 100 scrimmage yards in each of those. So that's great. But the running back I will go with is James Cook. It's 25.3% rostered. He's been getting a decent amount of volume the past few weeks. 2 out of the past 3 games, he's had 11 or more carries. And in this last game, he also got some passing work, some 6 receptions. He had his first 100-yard game with 105 total yards from scrimmage. He's got some tough matchups coming up, but if you need a running back who can, get good amount of volume, he might be good. He might be a good option for you. Rookie guy that they seem to like to go to. And this is a run heavy team at times. So you never know. You got to get a guy who you can stream if you have injuries or whatnot, because running backs is a thin position. So James Cook.
yeah, and he looks good, man.
Mm-hmm.
And to be on the Bills, if Singletary did get hurt as the number 1 guy, I think it'd be massive.
Yeah, he's looking better than he did earlier in the season for sure.
My last guy, especially to be a quarterback here, I kind of hinted at it earlier. Lamar is out. If he's out, or if you need another guy, Daniel Jones going against the Eagles defense. I understand Daniel Jones isn't a great quarterback. I wouldn't even consider him a good quarterback. Last week, he had 12 rush attempts for 71 yards. It's kind of the first time in a minute they used his legs a lot. And the thing about the Eagles is he averages almost 200 passing yards, a touchdown, and 50 rushing yards. Last 4 games, or his only 4 games really, 26 on 3 attempts, 92 on 4 attempts, 64 on 9 attempts, and 30 yards on 9 attempts. Last game wasn't great, but they always get him on the QB run. I don't know what it is about Daniel Jones, especially in New York. He just plays well. He's beaten the Eagles the last 2 times, last 2 times they played. 2 of the last 3 times they played. Something about him. He plays well against the Eagles. I would take him as a streamer. I think he uses the legs. It's a huge game for the Giants.
I don't know. There's just something about that guy.
It is. It's just something about him, Brad. Versus the Eagles. That dude could have multiple picks in a row, play shitty versus 4 different teams. He plays versus the Eagles. This guy turns into prime Mike Vick.
True. Just hopefully he stays upright and hold on to the ball.
Now, hopefully, I hope he doesn't. You know, I hope he doesn't. I'm telling you this
Oh,
because
this
I
is
think he
the old
does.
reverse jinx. I feel you.
But I pull the you, bro. You know, you've been doing it with Deontay Johnson and the Steelers all year. I
Yeah.
decided, you know what? Let me drop it here.
All right, my last guy is gonna be DJ Dallas, running back for the Seattle Seahawks. Who knows what's happening with Ken Walker? If he does miss time, I think DJ Dallas will be the main workhorse there. But you could also go add the pizza man Tony Jones Jr. if you wanted to, because I think they'll be splitting time there. So they got Carolina this week. Not the easiest matchup, but not a terrible matchup. So, and you know Pete Carroll, he does everything through the ground. So, even if he needs the package there the next day, he's not taking air. He's going ground. So
Respect it.
DJ
You know?
Dallas.
Probably scared of heights. That's why.
maybe that's what it is.
I want. Wait, question.
Yeah.
If you victory lap, no, sorry, yeah. If you victory lap DJ Dallas, are you gonna have Ian play "Go DJ" because that's my DJ?
Yeah, absolutely. I
instead of
have
the
him
real
on a
victory.
dynasty. I have him on a dynasty team, and that's his nickname on my team. It's a DJ. That's my DJ. Yeah. 0.5% rostered, and Tony Jones, the Pizza Man Jr., is 0% rostered. So both widely available out there in pretty much all leagues.
You know, when it comes to Tony Jones, whatever the job, sanitation, pizza, construction, he gets the job done. Don't worry about it. Don't ask any questions. But, you know, if you need a streaming quarterback, you know, because Lamar Jackson is injured, you gotta go with his backup. Look at Tyler Huntley. 0.3% rostered. He came in for an injured Lamar Jackson, who is probably going to not play in this upcoming game. He led them to a win over a tough Broncos defense. Granted, they only scored 10 points total, but still, the Denver defense is pretty tough. They faced the Pittsburgh Steelers this week in a huge, big implication matchup for the Ravens. Since they are tied with the Bengals, I think they're both 8-4. So this is divisional lead, that pivotal, you know, division game. Win could go a long way towards a playoff spot. You know, Huntley's probably going to play. He's certainly capable. You know, he had 200 total yards, but he also had a rushing touchdown, so that's very helpful. You know, I think he can do okay versus a not great Pittsburgh defense, you know, versus the quarterback. So if you need a streaming quarterback, and you get Tyler Huntley.
All right. So is there anyone who couldn't make your list because they're over 45% rostered, but you'd be looking to add first?
So this might be not popular, but I'm going to say Cam Akers. I know defenses are going to tee up on the run because who else is whatever his name is, who's now the quarterback, because Matthew Stafford's on IR, or who's been the quarterback. I don't even know his name. Who's he going to throw to? Okay, great. Wolford. He's got no. So, I mean, and even though teams know that, he's still getting a good amount of volume. So I think volume is good for a running back, and you know, if he can find the end zone, that's even better. So I still say Cam Akers just as an insurance policy, you know, just to have him in case, you know, stuff goes bad at your running back positions down the line.
Isaiah Pacheco for me, good Chiefs running back. He's only 64% rostered. Should be 100%. He's looking better every week.
Yeah.
Touchdown this week.
Yep. I was deciding between him and Joe Mixon earlier in this week, and then, or last week, and Sunday morning, it's like, oh, all right, get to put Pacheco in, and it worked out.
I would also say one thing. Sorry, if you're done with your buys, right? If you have now and they know I'm on buy next week, it is now time, or if they are not important, it is now time to get all of these handcuff running backs on your team for players. Like, I have P. Ryan. I picked him up in multiple leagues a couple weeks ago just to have him, just in case something happened to Joe Mixon. Something did happen, concussion, crazy. Now I got 2 great weeks out of him. We see, multiple running backs go down every week. Kenneth Walker, all these guys. Be early on this. I have Zamir White because I have Josh Jacobs. I'm not even sure if Zamir White's a true backup, but I'd rather have one running back as a backup than, no one. So
yeah. That kind of leads into me. AJ Dillon. Just 66% rostered. We saw it happen this week where Aaron Jones goes down. He's not completely knocked out, but he's done. And AJ Dillon really took over. 18 carries, 93 yards, had a mean touchdown run. And like Ryan said, they're going into their bye, so he's not like you have to go get him. But if you have Aaron Jones, go get him because he needs to be rostered. He is a premier backup in the NFL, and so you guys should be rostering him in for fantasy.
These insurance policy running backs are good gets. Like another example, Alexander Madison also. So Dalvin Cook had a touchdown, so did Alexander Madison. So
Leonard Fournette, great one.
Yeah. Came out hard in the second half.
It's crazy. I actually was doing the same thing with Joe Mixon, Keone, and the only player I could get in was not Isaiah Pacheco, but Jerick McKinnon, who also scored a touchdown. So
perfect.
Chiefs
great
running backs.
All great examples of insurance policy running backs that work out.
So who are you guys dropping this week?
I am dropping a player who should be ashamed to call themselves a football tight end in the NFL. Another goose egg this week, just letting down the hopes of the fans and everybody, in the fantasy world. I'm of course speaking of the utter disaster that is Dawson Knox. I shudder even saying his name, to think of speaking those words and just what it brings and what they mean. But yeah, I just gotta vacate him from my team, have nothing to do with him, because why would I want anything to do with him, be associated with him in any way? So Dawson Knox is the player that I am cutting.
I'm dropping James Robinson, 63.9% rostered. Just not worth it. Like we talked about Knight early as an ad. I think James Robinson is a drop. Seven touches 3 weeks ago, was a healthy scratch last week, and then just this past week 4 total touches for 10 yards. Just not getting any work. It's just not worth rostering him.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at Keone's roster, and a lot of league got to make fun of someone that's on his team. It's a good team.
Thank you.
1 second. Keep buying time, JJ.
All right. So while Ryan tries to do that, you guys can find
Fuck you, Keone. You're the one playing Dawson Knox. I agree. You should cut him too.
Yeah, I didn't.
Maybe you should keep playing him, huh?
I didn't realize.
You should also cut Mike Evans. You know why? Because since you traded, he's been ass.
That's true. No,
or George Pickens or
George Pickens has been good. It's just this week was bad. I should have played Greg Dulcich this week, but yeah, that would have been much better.
Fancy, bro.
I still would have lost. Yeah, Dulcich and Gabbana, as you say.
Henderson Jr., who had 0. So he was out. He didn't even play.
And if you want more content like this, head over to our website, fantasydaydreamers.com.
Good team. It's hard to make fun of about that.
Hey, we're the top 2 teams in the league, so
yeah, great job, buddy.
Well, just Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at FF Daydreamers. Come hang out with us on Twitch, twitch.com/daydreamermedia every Monday and Wednesday night, where you guys can watch us record this podcast live for you and even hang out before and after for a little bit. YouTube, Daydreamer Media. Go ahead and follow, subscribe there, so that way you guys can watch us if you miss the Twitches. Anything else you guys got to plug?
Have a great holiday shopping. You know,
Don't
that's
forget to
probably
do your holiday shopping.
exactly, you know, whether it's 8 crazy nights or one super big night, morning, day. Do the shopping. Capitalism.
Get out to those malls and stay dreaming.
Stay dreaming.
That was so fucking funny. Just I wasn't even paying attention to see you down here just playing this fucking violation or whatever it was, bro. It's like, dude, that man playing the what's the one you gotta stand up and hold?
The cello.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
that big
Hello, you got a bass. Come on, bro.
Hey.
in the back.
Or the heart, bro. You got to rest that whole thing on your shoulder.
The smallest girls used to play that shit, bro. You're like, dude, how is your fucking
You're-
4'3" ass holding this shit up and playing it,
Who put-
bro?
yeah. Who put Kawhi Leonard's hands?
No, bro, it's Giannis's. It's not the hands. It's the
It's the
arms,
R's,
bro.
the length.
It's the, you got that. You got those Giannis arms, bro. Complete
Jeez.
starting guard.
She is 5'3" with a 7.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Woo!